So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Brexit Opportunities role ditched with no replacement for Jacob Rees-Mogg. So I've had to change the meta a bit here because stupid highlight tool's still not working. So I've decided to go for a different tactic, which is just kind of more scripting, I guess, halfway between doing a proper script and just copy and pasting stuff from articles. So enjoy. So Truss's government has ditched the dedicated role Brexit Opportunities Minister, confirming that Mogg would not be replaced in the job. She's probably doing this to avoid scrutiny, given that Mogg promised a live website promising trackers and live updates on how the post-Brexit reforms are going. What a shame this website won't happen. You know, the only people who are going to be happy about this are civil servants because they won't have to get this thing operational. But essentially, Mogg promised a big website, you know, talking about deregulation and being very specific with what the government's doing. That's not going to happen by the looks of it. Mogg, the former Brexit Opportunities and Efficiency Minister, has been given a significant promotion to Business Secretary in the new Prime Minister's first cabinet. Dude didn't warrant a promotion. Dude spent his time annoying other departments about deregulation, and harassing civil servants to come into the office. Like that's all he did. Like, he did not warrant a promotion. He didn't find any efficiencies, maybe minor ones, but that's about it. The PM's official spokesperson said the mission of hunting out Brexit opportunities would now be taken across departments, and yet where are these departments with their Brexit wins? Non-existent. Absolutely non-existent. There'll be no real accountability in that regard. These departments will have way more to worry about than Brexit optics. Way more to worry about. How many of these departments are actually talking about any Brexit wins here? Not many, if any. Handed the role by Boris Johnson in February, Mogg spent 6 months trying to interest his colleagues in ditching EU regulations. It should be former EU regulations, really, and launching attacks on civil servants from working from home. So, like I said, those are his achievements. Badgering colleagues about cutting regulations, putting up like 2-year or 5-year sunset clauses, and telling people to stop working from home, even though he won't even tell us how many days he's actually working in the office. His office listed scrapping Brussels era regulations on vacuum cleaners as one of the most interesting ways to capitalise on the UK's Brexit freedoms, asking tabloid readers for help. And dude obviously has a cleaner. Does his cleaner need a more powerful Hoover? Like, what's he dropping in his house? Like, who needs a more powerful vacuum cleaner? What kind of carpets do you own? Dude was asking Sun readers for help because he has nothing. Plus, he was talking about changing exit signs. You remember that video? How he made imports more expensive, but not way more expensive because we're not doing physical checks. So that's a win somehow. I don't know how, but yeah, wanting to put sparkling wine in plastic bottles, an explosive change, that's for sure. He talked about how fish fingers and cheese would go up around 70% because if we did physical checks. But the only reason we'd have to do physical checks is because of Brexit. He makes no sense. Mogg did succeed in putting EU regulations and rules on the agenda for the recent Tory leadership battle between Truss and Sunak, with Truss very much appearing like she was going to cut a load of EU-era regulations. Yet that's what, we've got to wait to see it. So he managed to get the issue in the debates, but again, not really a big win for the country, is it? Truss promised to ditch thousands of remaining EU laws on the statute books by the end of 2023, despite warnings of chaos and disruption from lawyers, business leaders and union bosses, which doesn't come to any surprise. She wants to increase the working week, which is not going to go down very well. These are British laws, or you can call them EU legacy laws, but all it will do is make the country a worse place to live in and make exports harder, because the more we deregulate, even if the businesses haven't taken advantage of those deregulations, they're still going to go through more aggressive checks, because the EU don't know what these businesses have changed when it comes to EU standards versus UK standards, if that makes sense. Green campaigners have reacted angrily to the appointment of Mogg as Business and Energy Secretary, where he will now be in charge of the climate brief, which is an absolute nightmare. Energy used to have its own minister, which made sense, given how important it was. Now we have this guy in charge of it as well. Mogg had previously played down the earthquake risks of fracking and stressed the need for oil firms to be able to keep their profits and drill more, so they get every last drop out of the North Sea air, because they're really struggling for money and not price gouging the average person, which in my opinion they are. They're saying even people on £45,000 will need help, which is wild, and that was Nadim Zahawi, the former Chancellor, saying that £45,000 is well above the UK average in terms of salary. If those people need help, how much do the people on the lower end of the spectrum need, when you really think about it? He also warned about climate alarmism and said he wants his constituents to have cheaper energy rather than rather more than I would like them to have windmills. I mean, okay, cool. Like that doesn't make sense because the energy is not cheaper. Even if we produce more energy, we'd have no storage. So any of the shale gas we get from fracking is probably going to be exported potentially if any countries want that because we don't have storage. So it's not going to make anything cheaper. And in my opinion, cool. Let's make sure we open up fracking right in Mog's constituency. Somerset can deal with the polluted water, the earthquakes, and the sinkholes. They deserve it, given they keep voting for this guy. They're the reason we keep ending up with clowns. It's people in Tory constituencies who keep voting for Tory MPs who are more stupid than the last set of Tory MPs that are elected. It's genuine madness. It's very frustrating, and I think that they should open up all so many fracking sites in Somerset, and let's see how much they enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, most the areas that typically vote Tory are rural areas, where fracking would happen. So enjoy, guys. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you prefer this as the new meta, let me know, and maybe it'll be a permanent change. But support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.